Hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Waking up to another chilly morning here, kind of getting used to it by now. It was 17 degrees last night, but you know what I'm finding during this cold weather is it's more about the scarcity of food than anything else, since I'm doing this kind of almost like a little mono thing with bananas, although I have been drinking orange juice now. Those Cara oranges are delicious. I've found that it's really, the raw thing and the winter thing, it really has nothing to do with that so much for me. When I came up here, I heard everybody was always talking about, like, oh my God, how do you stay raw in winter? I don't think it's so much the cold factor as it is just the scarcity of the fruit. Now that I'm just going on cruise control on bananas, I don't even think anything about the temperature. Anyhow, today's video, I want to talk about healing the body on the raw food diet. Is it all about raw? Just a few thoughts of mine on the subject. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now, and then make sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so YouTube will keep you subscribed to the channel. I've talked about healing before, that I've never, I'm not much of an expert in this field. Actually, I'm not much of an expert in any field. I just kind of go intuitively with what makes my body feel good. And that doesn't take a whole lot of thought to get to where I've been. But I think about it sometimes, and I say I haven't healed anything, but who knows? Who knows what I've done to my body over this past coming up on 6 years. The way I treated myself with all the drinking and the kind of food I was eating for 3 or 4 decades, 4 decades for sure. Who knows what path I was on? Who knows what potential things were lurking in this body that have maybe cleared themselves up before they got to a point of crisis. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. I just see so much, in my opinion, and like I say, everything that I ever say on this channel is my opinion. I'm not one of those people that's like, this is the truth. I know this is an absolute fact. And most people that tell you things with such authority and tell you they know this is an absolute fact have their heads up their asses. I just don't, it's like, there's so many factors out there. I just don't like to talk for a lot of other people, just for myself, just this one experiment of me. But I just apply a little common sense. I try to drop in on conversations, threads, what have you, where people are talking about healing. And once again, it's my analogy of the merry-go-round. They're just going round and round and round and round, doing those same old things over and over and over again. Now, the reason I put that little second part in the title, is it all about raw? I'll talk about that a little bit. I don't think it is all about raw. Now, so I don't contradict myself, I'll try to be very clear here. If I had something, major that I needed to heal, whether it was a hardcore skin issue, a gut issue, or even a life-threatening disease, I wouldn't be playing around. In other words, there's stuff like, okay, you can get by and do some healing on this, but if I had something like that was very serious, I want to go to the top of the healing pyramid. I want to be doing it 100%. We don't have, and people might say, well, that's fanatic. And always remember again, this video today, I'm talking about healing, not just general. I even have talked about the extreme people and the fanatics that, don't eat this and don't eat that. That's for healthy people. Once again, if I were sick, if I had a life-threatening disease, or if I had something that was really painful, debilitating, uncomfortable, I would do the best of the best that I could to heal that. So, yes, I do think the raw is superior for when we're trying to heal something in the body. It's just less food coming in, but it's not even so much about the raw as like the type of food that we're eating when we're eating it raw. It's just like, to me, those are the healing foods, the fruits, the greens and the tender vegetables, mostly the fruits, and with the greens mixed in there. But here's where I think everybody's getting tripped up on all this, and why a lot of people out there are just spinning their wheels. And, they seem to be, sometimes I'm like, well, why does this person just keep saying, they seem to be healing for the past 3 or 4 years. And everybody seems to have candida. What's the hell's up with that? Everybody's got candida or thinks they have candida. And then I look into it, and then I hear some little things behind the scenes, and then I hear somebody might give you they haven't been eating exactly as they claim to eat in groups and whatever. And it's about eating all this fruit. Like everybody is obsessed with the fruit, but they're eating all this fruit with high fat. Now, I'm not, like I say, I'm not well versed on all this disease and healing part of this lifestyle, but from what I understand, fruit and high fat just feeds candida. You're never going to get rid of it like that. So as I'm talking about, is it all about raw? I don't think it necessarily is. For some reason or another, there's people that don't seem to be able, even for the healing part. And I don't know, I'm not judging, I'm just saying what is. People don't seem to be able to do it. They don't seem to be able, even when they're sick, to just focus in and say, hey, I'm a mono meal, or I'm going to do this or that, or I'm going to do this, whatever it takes to get myself well. And they kind of fall in this trap because everybody else, all the cool kids are doing it. Everybody's raw, fully raw. I'm fully raw for 460 days. I still laugh at that stuff. And they want to be raw above everything. So they sacrifice in my opinion, they sacrifice their healing powers within their body, their health in general, by putting raw above everything. In other words, let me just spell it out for you instead of going all the way around to get to it. I would totally find cooked food, no fat or low fat, superior to high fat raw. That's always going to be my opinion. I know a lot of people will diametrically oppose that, and the raw is law people, even though we're not as far apart as it would seem. Because a lot of the raw is law people, even though I don't like that preachiness, a lot of the ones that really thrive on that, they're not adding fat in there, and that's where the factor comes in. Raw is great. Listen, right now, after I'm on this is on day 4, not that far into it, but that tells you something, not that far into it, and I'm just feeling absolutely fantastic on giving my body a break. And, and in a way, I kind of translate that over to where, okay, if my body feels like it feels when I eat a certain way, I got to take that next step and go, okay, it would heal a lot faster with me eating this certain way. Listen, I've gone through a lot of those periods, and I'll tell you, I never, ever, ever feel better than when I am eating very high fruit, and low to no fat. Man, when I did those periods last year, I did like a 3 or 4 week period of no fat or no added fat, and I was just off the chart. In fact, I got to a point where I said, okay, I'm gonna eat some fat. It was kind of like taking a Valium or something to bring you down. I had to eat a little bit of fat, and that is because, and I had to write this down also, but I can't remember anything. With mono meals, the digestion is simplified. Healing can occur, but energy remains high because you're still taking in calories, you're still taking in energy, but your body's only having to think to digest one type of food, which makes it a lot easier, which means, okay, it's not up there as far as conserving energy as, say, fasting, juice feasting, or even water fasting, but you're using a lot less energy when you're just trying to digest one particular food like that. So let me see if I've missed anything here that I wanted to say. No, not really. I would just say, like I said, those are just, it's just one little point there. I think when it comes to the healing, everybody out there really needs to look into, and like I say, this is I like to be kind of a gateway to subjects and whatever. Like, it might spark your interest and you go listen to somebody a lot more educated in the subject than me. But if you're trying to do any healing of your body for whatever purposes, look into it. Do some searches on Google. Do some searches on YouTube regarding fat and fruit, fat and healing, fat on a raw food diet, fat and candida, fruit, fat, and candida. Play with words like that. If you just play with words in Google, all you got to do is play with some words, hit search, boom, see what comes up. No, that's not what I'm looking about, and adjust it. You can get some good stuff out there. But if you're serious about healing your body, if you're really serious about taking your health to the next level, you're just going to have to come to grips one of these days. It may be okay for transitioning, and it may be okay. I'm never going to be a fanatic. It may be okay for special occasions. I certainly do it, and I go through periods where I'll eat a little bit higher fat, but you're never going to heal, and you're never going to achieve that high degree of health on a lot of fat. Plain and simple. That's just my take on it. But that one I'm pretty adamant about. But then again, like I say, when I say things like that, I'm not forcing it on anybody else. I just know what I believe for myself. And it's mostly when it comes to the healing, I would say largely it comes to the fat. Anyhow, I'm just going to keep this one a little bit shorter today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. If you would, maybe share this with some other people, and I will see you again tomorrow. Love you guys. Peace.